One of the things that we want with our pet dogs is for them to be toy orientated and motivated to play. If we motivate them to a toy, then we can use that as a really valuable reward in our training. So we can use that to reward our dog when they come back, when we call them, and for doing any exercise that we're teaching them, that we want to put a reward there. The other good thing about having a dog that's toy orientated is it means it gives us an easy way to actually exercise our dog when we're out, because we can play games like retrieve as well with them. But in order to do this, it's important that we do this in the right way. Often I see lots of videos and I see lots of people with their dogs with this issue, is that they get their dogs so excited about a toy that they actually are out of control. And on the other side of things, we can end up with dogs that are just not motivated at all. So it really is a fine balance when we're training a dog to make sure that we motivate them enough so that the toy becomes a reward, but equally we want to be able to control that as well. Now, some breeds are a lot easier than others to get used to being motivated and getting really driven by the toy. Callie, being a Malinois, is actually quite prey orientated, so getting her used to playing with a toy has been quite an easy process for me. The hard bit I find with having a Malinois is that we can get a dog that's too keen on the toy almost, so that we can end up with dogs. I often see these dogs where the dogs are squealing, they're barking, they're not thinking, they can't control themselves because they're completely fixated on getting that reward of the toy. Now that's no good, because when we're training a dog and we're teaching our dog, we need that dog to actually be concentrating and be very clear-headed. So what I'm going to show you today is some of the exercises that I practice with Callie and the sort of level of control that I create so that I can use the toy in the right way. Callie, come. Good girl. Heel. Sit. So with Callie here, what I'm going to do is actually start putting a little bit of control in with the ball. She's toy orientated anyway, she really loves playing fetch and she brings it back to me when I throw it, but what I want her to do is to understand that she's got to have calm behaviour to get it. She needs to think, and she isn't just going to get it just because it's on show. And when I have got her toy on show, I still want her to use her brain and actually do things before she's allowed it. I don't want a dog that's squeaking, I don't want a dog that's barking, and I don't want a dog that's jumping all over me or trying to grab the toy. Those things are not good things for a pet dog to be able to do. We want the dog nice and calm like she is here. Now, I'm not saying that the whole process that we're going to do now is going to be perfect with her. It's going to be anything but. She's very excitable, she's an adolescent at this stage, but I'm training her, so she's only 9 months old. It's not going to be perfect, but what I'm doing is trying to improve things each time I have a session with her, so she gets better and better and better. And as she matures, soon this will be second nature, this calm attitude. So I'm going to get a toy out, sit, and I want her to stay sitting. And she moved then, so sit. And I'm just going to repeat my command. So there's no telling her off, I'm just going to repeat what I've actually asked her to do, and she's not having it for that. Now, because I've used conditioning with her, she actually understands that she's not done the right thing until I give her the marker word that tells her then that she's allowed to do it. So I'm keeping her nice and calm. I'm going to ask her to come around here so you can see her. Sit. Now you see, this is nice sit, nice calm behaviour. Now what I don't want is when this starts to move a little bit, this makes it harder for the dog, I don't want her trying to grab it, jump after it. And what ideally I'm looking for is her to be calm, relaxed, and also ideally to look at me and make eye contact with me. When she does, I'm actually going to give her the marker word and reward her. Good. And throw her a toy, which is what she wants. Come. Good. Out. Sit. So keep a nice and calm heel. Sit. So what I want to be able to do is teach her, no matter what happens with that toy, she's not going to get it, she's not going to grab it, be next to her, but it's not her toy, it's mine, that she's allowed, but only when I say so. Good girl. Clever. What a good dog. Sit. Now, as your dog gets better at this, we can start upping the ante, like I'm doing here with Callie, where I'm starting to move this toy a lot more. And I still want to make sure that she understands that she only gets it, sit, is when she's doing the right thing, which at the moment what I'm asking is for this calm sit. Good. And then I can throw her toy. So don't do too much to start with. Build it up to where your dog's up to and where they're actually up to in the level of this. Out. Good girl. Out. sit. Good girl. Now what I can start to do, because clearly you can see she's thinking now, is I can actually start getting her to do things for a ball. So she starts to understand that this is my toy, that she's motivated to, but she only gets it on my say-so as a reward. And actually being excitable and silly isn't going to get her that. What I want her to do now is engage her brain, and I'm going to actually ask her to do a few things. So we're going to ask her to down. Good. And she's going to get a toy. So you can see now that she's able to get it as a reward. Come. Good girl, good girl. There's a clever girl. Out. And then once I've taken it from her, again, we can start teaching her. I'm taking it from you, but you can't have it again. Good girl. Sit. Clever. Down. Sit. Sit, sit. Sit. Good girl. Okay, good. So start actually getting your dog to do a few more things for this toy, rather than just always just ask him to do one thing. Start getting them to do more and more. And as they do more and more, you can actually increase your reward. If your dog likes tug of war like she does here, this is a much better fun game for her as well. Out. Good. But if you are going to place it, if you are going to play any tug of war games using your ball or a ragger at all, you must make sure that your dog lets go immediately when you ask your dog to do as well.